ladies, and welcome to The Beauty Shaman. So today I had a viewer whose name on my comment section was Jay, the letter J. So hello, Jay. Jay asked if I would please do a video on keeping oily skin matte, how to mattify oily skin with in order so that when you wear makeup, it doesn't break through, how to handle all of that oil. And when it comes to foundations and breakouts and things like that, like what do you do with oily skin? So I wanted to really address this topic. I think this is very important and I so appreciate the question. By the way, I really encourage all of you to ask questions that you have. Can just plop down and do a video on it. So please feel free to do that. Thank you so much. Okay, Jay, for that. In any case, so today that's what we're going to hit on is what to do with oily skin. Before we get started, please visit my website at thebeautyshaman.com and use the code SB10 for 10% off everything in my store. Also, please hit the subscribe button and the bell in order to be alerted every time I upload a video so that I can continue making great content here on YouTube. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so as we get started, let's all take a sip of tea. I've got my turmeric and ginger tea. I've been drinking this all week. It's so good. Turmeric is great for your immune system, by the way, so have a little turmeric. The first thing I would say about oily skin is, you really have to get a good skin product. And I think, Jay, you had said you had visited a dermatologist in order to get some products to help with your breakouts, which is great. And that's a great decision as well. I am going to speak to some of the products that I have experimented with clients that I think are really, really awesome. And I would definitely recommend to any of you with oily skin who want to try to control their oil. So one of the lines that I really love and I promote is Image Skincare. I love Image Skincare. This is their Vital C line. They have a lot of lines. I don't know exactly how many. I would say maybe 10 different lines on their website. The line that I'm going to recommend to you, I have seen do wonders for skin with breakouts. With one client, I had her use this brand, it's called, not brand, but this part of this line within Image called Clear Cell, C-E-L-L. And within, I would say, maybe a week, it wasn't long, her pimples completely cleared up, her skin looked great. So I would say this is a great line. I've seen it work. It's called Clear Cell. I will put a link down below. For anything I use in my videos, please look at the drop down, push the drop down menu, and you will see it there. So I don't have a bottle of it to hold up for you, unfortunately, but I do, it's the Image brand. So when you go to their website, you'll see this branding here. So it's called Clear Cell, and what she got, I wrote down what I had her buy, the Salicylic Gel Cleanser, and then the Clear Cell Medicated Acne Lotion worked phenomenal. It's actually one of their top sellers. And then the third thing was the Mattifying Moisturizer for oily skin. Even when you have oily skin, you need moisturizers. So one of the great sort of things we used to do as kids, right, with zits is it was like, dry it out, it's too much oil. But what happens is it ruins the pH in your skin and it can actually cause your skin to secrete more oil. So matting your skin out, using alcohol, using very harsh chemicals on your skin like that can really damage your skin and cause it to just become very imbalanced. So what I love about Clear Cell is it really works with your skin and it helps to balance the pH in your skin and bring your skin back to some normalcy. Now, oil is really, as you know, is really good because then you don't age as quickly. So I have a lot of oils in my skin, which is really fabulous. I'm really grateful for that. I do everything I can to keep the oils in it. For those of you with very dry skin, I always recommend taking omega-369 oils. I'm always chanting that. And using really great hydrating products, of course, drinking a lot of fresh water. But for oily skin people, I think using these types of products in order to control the oil and control the breakout is going to help you enormously. So if you're using a product that you really love for your oily skin, please write it down below. I always welcome input and thoughts on different products. I haven't used every product out there, so I'm always very excited to learn new things. I would say I have tried these and I can highly recommend them for you oily skinned ladies. Okay, so now what to do with oily skin with makeup. So when someone sits down in my chair and they have very oily skin and they are a woman, is I use a few products in order to keep the oil under control while they're in front of a camera. Now, generally, these things last longer than just the time in front of a camera. They tend to work all day long. I love them. So I'm speaking totally from experience with these particular products. If you know of other ones like it that you want to talk about down below, please do. The first one I would say is, this is called Meron. So I love Meron. It's actually a professional line, and this is their anti-shine. So I love this stuff. It's not expensive. I want to say this is like $8 for this. It's not expensive. And this comes in 3 colors, light, medium, and dark. You don't need any other colors than that, honestly, because it's pretty translucent. And I take this, and you need to use a very small amount. I use my fingers or a sponge. You can also use a brush with any of these. And I apply it where the person is oily. So if you're oily all over, put it everywhere, right? If the person is oily mainly in their T-zone, or I have talent that sit down and they just get oily like right through here. They don't oil up any place else. I mean, everybody's unique. So I just put it exactly where I need it. If I don't know the talent, I can kind of look at their face and see where they need it, right? I wouldn't put it too close to the eye area. I haven't used it too close to eyes, so I'm not sure. I have never had a reaction from anybody, but in any case, you might want to try that out, see what happens. So this is really phenomenal, not expensive, works great. You put it on in the morning. You can, it stays, for me, for talent that I've witnessed, it lasts all day. If it doesn't, like say midday, I'm in the middle of a shoot and I can see some of the shine breaking through, you can put this on top of makeup, which is fabulous, right? You just take your finger, take a very small amount and just tap it wherever you need it on top of your makeup. And then it'll last the rest of the day. I love this stuff, phenomenal, highly recommend it. The other thing I would say is, Jane, if you want a clean beauty brand, this is Jane Iredale. So this one has some hairs in it from my brush, but this is very white. So obviously I can't use this on anybody who is of a darker complexion. So I tend to use my Meron medium and dark. But if you have a lighter complexion, this is great. And then I use it with a brush. You can see the little brush hairs in there. And I just sort of brush it on where I need it. Or again, sponges always work, or your fingers, totally up to you. But this also works very well. Different lines have products like this. This is in a nice, convenient, round, compact, as opposed to the Meron, which is in a cream form. But in any case, this works really well. I've had great luck with this, so I highly recommend that. The other thing I would say is, as you go through your day, and this was one of Jay's questions, is using powders to touch up throughout the day. So one comment I would make, instead of using powders, try your anti-shine during the day, see what happens with that. The other thing I would say is use, I love this product. This is by MAC. It's called Blot Powder. Now I've used this on set, so it's pretty loved here. But in any case, it's a translucent powder. It absorbs oil. So when you put it on, what I love about this, there's 2 things I love about this, is when I put it on, it doesn't sit on the surface of the skin. It immediately absorbs the oil and disappears into the skin, because I can't go up to somebody who's in front of a camera, powder them, and have them look powdered, right? That's how you get fired in my business. So that's why I really love this. I think it works really, really well. I use it with a brush on set. I know that's not handy to pack around. It does, just kind of normal everyday people in your handbag. It does come with a little puff. What I find with puffs, though, is they tend to get mucky pretty quickly, especially, with oily skin, right? Because you're dabbing it, it's getting mucky. You can buy extra ones from MAC. I believe they sell extra. You can also get yourself, just get a sponge from the local pharmacy and use that instead. And then I think you'd have to keep them probably in a Ziploc or something so the sponge doesn't get mucked up from your bag. In any case, that does work as well. You can also buy a completely separate puff that you get, a cheap puff, and just kind of keep a few extras on hand. I used to buy puffs and then launder them. I would buy really good quality puffs. I think Laura Mercier used to make some pretty good ones. And then I would always get professional puffs. But in any case, sometimes you can just launder them. I mean, if you're using a lot of them, this is back in the days before HD 4K cameras, when we really had to powder people a lot and you couldn't see that in the camera. So I had a lot of puffs back then. This is like in the 90s, okay? Obviously nowadays I can't do that. 4K cameras are way too sharp for that. But I'm telling you that to say there are solutions for the mucky, bits and bobs that come within these things. So that helps to keep the skin matte. So I hope that's helpful. I think those are my tricks when it comes to oily skin. I do find that these really work. I find that, I have a lot of men who come in who sit in front of the camera, and instantly when they sit down, they start to glow. It's like, I call them glow worms. And I have one of my talent I work with all the time named Regina, who's a glow worm. Oh my God. She's just like, she sits down and she could be totally matte, and like 2 minutes later and it's because she has super healthy skin. So my trick for that is these kinds of things, okay? And then a lot of times once people sit in front of a camera and they sweat, like 2 minutes later, once you powder them, they calm back down and their body calms down, right? We sweat when we're nervous. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I hope that answered your question, Jay. I hope these tips and tricks will come in handy. Please let me know what works, what doesn't, what you like, what you don't, products, love all that stuff. I hope you have a great day and be happy, right? So much to be happy about. Thanks for watching.